Hello again. Yesterday we started talking about triangle congruence shortcuts. Specifically, we mentioned three of them yesterday. Side, 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 which worked. Side, side, which also worked. And angle, 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 which did not work. So we talked about some triangle congruent shortcuts. Side, side, side works. Side works. But angle, angle, angle did not work. Today, we're going to be continuing that, and we're going to explore a few other options. We're going to explore side angle, angle. We're going to explore side, side angle, and we're going to explore angle, side angle. So we're going to see these three and see which ones of those work and which don't. Before we do that, though, we have a couple of problems here. Problem one and problem two, where we want to say if the triangles are congruent, and if so, by which of those shortcuts right here. I would encourage you to pause the video and see if you can figure out problem one or two. It's just a good review and make sure you understand what's going on. All right, problem one. Those two triangles are indeed congruent. They are congruent by side, side, side. They have sides that are all in common, three pairs of sides that are congruent. So side, side, side stands for knowing all three sides are congruent to each other. Make sure you list them in the right order. This was talking about triangle dog from D to O to G and then back. So if I started at D to O to G, see how that followed along the one tick mark line and then the two tick mark line? So to name the other triangle in the same order, I'm going to have to follow that same one tick mark to two tick mark line from N to E to T and then back. So triangle dog is congruent to triangle net. Why do I know that's true? By side, side, side. If I look at problem two is an angle, angle, angle shortcut. I know those angles are the same. I know those angles are the same. I know those angles are the same. But angle, angle, angle does not work for a congruence shortcut. So since angle, angle, angle is all I've got, I can't say the triangles are congruent. I can only say cannot be determined. Cannot be determined means exactly what it sounds like. It means it cannot be determined. We cannot tell if the triangles are congruent based on angle, angle, angle. Angle, angle, angle is not enough. Doesn't work as a shortcut, so I don't know that those triangles are congruent. They might be the same shape, but they might not be the same size. Congruence means they're exactly the same shape and same size. These ones are on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, not so much. All right. We're going to start exploring these other three options right there. And we're going to see which of those work and which don't. Normally in class, we actually have a volunteer do this, but I'm here by myself, so I guess I'll do it. So the first one we're going to explore is side, side angle. So side, side angle would be two triangles that have two sides that are congruent right next to each other and an angle on the outside. So you see I've started it with, there's an angle that's congruent to another angle. Here's a side congruent to another side. And we are going to add this last side. We're going to add that last one, and we're going to add it to the triangles. And when we add it, we're going to put them right here somewhere. And when we add it, we're going to see if we can make two separate triangles. If we can, that is not a congruent shortcut, or if we'll be forced to make the exact same triangle. And if we're forced to make the exact same triangle, then that means side, side angle is enough to force the triangles to be congruent, and it would work as a shortcut. I can't do this on my iPad, so I'm going to quickly share a different screen so that I can show you it working. All right, here we are back. This time I've got my smartboard, so I can actually grab this piece and move it. Again, we're going to add it to this triangle to complete the triangle. I think I want to add it. Let's see here. I got to make sure I end up hitting this side, right? If it doesn't hit, it's not a complete triangle. I think if I twist it enough, there we go. I made a triangle right here. Right there. So has an angle, has a side, has that third side. There's a triangle. This one on the right, I'm going to see if I can add this side in another way so that I can make another triangle, but maybe a triangle that's not the exact same one. If I was forced to put it here, then side, side, side would work. But if I'm not forced to, that shortcut doesn't work. I think if I tilt this enough, I can bring this side so it hits that third side. Right there, almost. There it is. All right, it looks like side, side, side does not work because these sides were clearly the same length. Those bottom sides are clearly the same length. Those angles are clearly the same size. So I'm matching the side, side, side shortcut. But this third side that would go right there is definitely not the same as that third side that goes there. So since I can make two different triangles using the side, angle shortcut, side, side angle does not work. All right. So just to reiterate, side, side angle does not work as a triangle congruent shortcut. We can't use it. Does not work. All right, the next step, angle, side, angle. Here I've got two angles that are the same. A side between them that's the same. And a second angle that's the same. If I had that situation and I formed two triangles, would the triangles be forced to be congruent? In other words, will this angle, side, angle work as a triangle congruent shortcut? Well, if this angle is fixed into place, clearly I'm going to have to go along that line. The length isn't fit, so I could go as long as I like. But since this angle is forced there, I clearly have to go along this. And they'll intersect right there, and I'll have that triangle. And it appears on the other side, if I follow that along, and I follow that along, they're going to intersect in the same spot. I'm going to make the exact same triangle. Angle, side, angle works. So note, angle, side, angle works as a triangle congruent shortcut. If you have two triangles and you know they match that angle, side, angle pattern for congruence, then the triangles themselves are congruent. All of their parts are congruent, not just that angle, that side, and that other angle. All right, the last one is side, angle, angle to explore. I've got down here two pictures that have a side, angle, angle. So there's a side, then an angle, then an angle, then an angle, then angle. So side, then angle, then angle. These match the side, angle, angle shortcut. So the question is, does that force them to be congruent? Sometimes people ask at this point, they're like, wait a minute, Mr. Anderson, how do I know which order to go in? And so you want to go in the order here. We'll talk about how that's different than angle, side, angle. Angle, side, angle has a side trapped in between the two angles. If that was the case here, I have an angle, a side, and the other angle I would know would be trapped right there, right? Angle, side, angle, where that angle is trapped in between. But I don't know this angle, so it's not angle, side, angle. It's side, angle, angle. Now, please note, side, angle, angle is the same thing as angle, angle, side. It's just in reverse, right? So those are the same thing. I could call it angle, angle, side. I could call it side, angle, angle. It works either way, right? Side, angle, angle if I go that direction, or angle, angle, side if I go that direction. I just can't call it angle, side, angle. I cannot call it angle, side, angle, because again, that means the side is trapped in between the two angles, and it's not. If I look at my two angles, there's an angle, there's an angle. The side trapped between them is this one, and that's not the one that I know is congruent. I know that outside side is congruent. So here we're back at the start. Side, angle, angle, otherwise known as angle, angle, side, means the same thing again. Does it work as a shortcut? And the answer is yes. The reason I know it definitely works is because since these two angles are equal, I know this third angle is also going to have to be equal. I know that because the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees, and if these two are the same as those two, then in order for them both to add up to 180, that third one is also going to have to be the same. And that's really important, because remember how we talked about angle side angle here before, and how we said angle side angle works? Well, as long as I know that this angle and that angle are congruent, and I already have these other angles being congruent, and that middle side being congruent, I have angle side angle. This works, which means side angle angle also works. Note, side angle angle also works as a triangle congruence shortcut. If you've got that situation with two triangles having those parts congruent, the triangles themselves are congruent in all of their parts, all their other sides, all their other angles. Let's make sure we understand. Quick review, which work, which don't work. I'd encourage you to pause this and figure it out. All right. Shortcut to understand these, basically there's just two that don't work. Angle, angle, angle doesn't work. And side, side angle doesn't work. You can spell them backwards or forwards, either way, those are the only two that don't work, which means all the other combinations work. Side, 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 angle, side, angle, angle, which again, you could call angle, angle, side if you prefer, and then angle, side, angle. All right, those are all the ones that work. All right, here's what your problems are going to be like. You're going to be given two triangles. You have to say if they are congruent. So I see an angle, an angle and a side. Angle, an angle, and a side. Does angle, angle, side work? Yes, it does. It's not one of these two that don't work. So angle, angle, side works. Also known as side, angle, angle, if you prefer. So I know they work by side, angle, angle. Last thing is just to make sure you name the triangles in the right order. This triangle lie was L to I to E. That's the short side to the long side with that 90 in between it. So that'd be the same as RIZ. Triangle lie is congruent to triangle rise by side, angle, angle. That's what we're doing today. See if you can get this one. This one was from yesterday's video, I believe. All right, those sides are equal. Those sides are equal. And they share a third side. So that third side is also going to be equal. So these triangles are congruent by side, side, side. Putting them in the right order. ABC was A to B to C. Let's see, that traveled along the 2 tick marks and then the 1 tick mark. So that'd be the same as C to D to A. C, D, A. Triangle congruence means those triangles are the exact same shape and the exact same size. All right, we have timed here. I think this one was on yesterday's as well. Notice we've got some angles, we've got a side, and we know these angles are congruent because they're vertical angles, which means I've got angle, side, angle, which does work. These triangles are congruent by angle, side, angle. Let's make sure we name them in the right order. That top triangle is named Tim, T-I-M. To match that up, that would be the same as triangle D-E-M. So that triangle Tim on top is the same as the triangle Dem on bottom. Almost done. All right. We got a choice. Is this side, side, angle, or is this side, angle, side? This one is an expression of side, side, angle. Side, angle, side would have the angle trapped between the two sides. That'd be this angle. That's not the angle I was given. So this is a side, side, angle shortcut. That shortcut is one of the ones that doesn't work. So this one, we can't say they're congruent. We don't know that those triangles are congruent. They might be different. So we can't say they're congruent, and we'd have to say cannot be determined. All right, let's wrap this thing up. This is one we did yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and skip it since we did it yesterday. This is a new one. This one, I see an angle, and then I've got this third side. So take a look here. There is a triangle there. There is another triangle there. Those ones are congruent. See if you can tell by what shortcut. All right, the shortcut would be angle, angle, side, otherwise known as side, side, angle, because I'm given an angle, and they both share that bottom side, angle, angle, side. Making sure I name them in this right order. Triangle crow, C to R to O, that'd be the same, that's the yellow triangle. The gray triangle, to name that in the same order, would be triangle WOR. That's it. Give these a try. Definitely see me during my office hour or in class live. If you have questions, I can definitely help this make sense for you.